Welcome to Work Hard RC, and today we're going to take a look at the RC4WD Drive Chevy K10 Scottsdale. This is built off the Trailfinder 2 chassis, and it has quickly become my absolute favorite RC truck. Let's find out why. This version of the K10 came out in red and black. We opted for the red since it is my favorite color. The headlights and the taillights are LED and turn on when you plug it in. It does come with a full interior and a V8 engine underneath the hood, which has the dress-up kit. That's something new for this version that wasn't available in the last version. The instruction manual is pretty straightforward. It goes over all of the install, how to plug in the battery, and how the controls work. Also has all the parts organized into baggies labeled where each part goes and each screw size goes as well. It has an XR3 3-channel 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Comes with the batteries, so you don't have to go out looking for batteries or buying them. Has the front inner fender set included and a 6-cell 3000 mAh battery with the XT60 plug. Comes with extra leaf springs as well as the body pins that go into the rear of the bed. Comes with the plastic chrome and rear front bumper. We did purchase a metal bumper, hopefully it'll come in soon. It does have the interchangeable grille, give you more of that 70s look. The wheels are a Rally 1.9-inch beadlock, and the tires are a BF Goodwrench Mud Terrain KM 1.9 scale tire. It does have the 70mm white shocks with internal springs. Comes with a 4-channel transmitter located in the rear in the gas tank. The Super Soft Flex leaf springs are installed, and it has an Alki 3 waterproof ESC that can run a LiPo or the battery that comes with. The axles are stock with K44 Ultimate Scale cast axles. The sliders are plastic. Hopefully we can upgrade those in the future. It does come with a center-mounted hammered transfer case. All of the gears are hardened. R3 single-speed transmission, 540 crawler brush motor, the 45T. We may change that out for something different if we decide to make this into a hauler with one of our cars on a trailer, nothing too heavy. It does have a Twister high torque Metal Gear digital servo up front. I don't hear anything negative about them, but we do have extra servos if we need to change it out. Overall, the internal and underbody looks beautiful. Given I knew I was getting this, I went ahead and recharged or charged up my battery that I already owned so that we didn't have to take this battery and charge it and wait for it to charge. Even though it's a fast charger, didn't want to wait. It does have different plugs, so if you wanted to plug it and you're traveling, taking it with you internationally, those plugs are for that. The batteries that go in the receiver, pretty straightforward. You install those and you're ready to go. Nothing crazy there. I do have to reach a little bit if I wanted to do one-handed driving, but they do make adapters for that. I've seen online that people are 3D printing. Now the Velcro straps for the battery were a little bit of a task to put in. I'm not sure why they were so difficult for me. It was just kind of hard to get them to go into the slit where the opening is for the strap. So it did take me a little bit to figure that out, or at least to get it through. But once I got that installed, the battery was plugged in, battery wires and everything stayed out of the way. I do tend to use Dean plugs for all of my cars, so we use the adapter. The fenders will probably install at a different time. They look kind of difficult. We'll do that as well as the body pins. Pretty straightforward. They go in the rear. We're not going to do anything crazy today, so we don't necessarily need that in the back for the extra support. There shouldn't be too much body flex anyways. Like I said, the instruction shows you all of the different size screws that you'll need to install the rear bumper and everything else. So that's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy with that. It installed pretty easy. I am using just a hand tool. I don't tend to use any type of battery-powered tools for RC cars. I have been eyeing this handheld that they have at Costco, so we may buy that. I know it's low torque, and I shouldn't I probably won't strip any of the parts if I buy that and use it. So very nice install for the front bumper. The rear bumper uses similar screws and install just as easy. You can see the tape there holding the wire that you can plug in for the lights. That was a little bit of a task, trying to get that plugged in one-handed. I was at the park doing this, so I didn't want to wait, and didn't have anything nice to put the body on so it doesn't scratch, or else I would have set it down, then plugged it in. But you'll see here in a little bit how that went. But overall, the bumpers installed. We're almost there. They came up pretty nice. Again, I do like the realism of the truck, if I haven't said that already. So for this piece, we're going to need a few screws to do the body mount onto the frame. There are 4 screws that you'll need. Again, I said earlier that the body pins go in the back, and you'll need some clips to put there. I don't have the front fender flares installed. I know that some people have said it's a little bit difficult to install it with that on there. So we'll go ahead and put those on at a different time. So here you can see me connecting the light, the headlights and the tail lights. Kind of difficult to do with one hand. I guess I could have had one of my daughters help me, but they were out on the swing, so that wasn't going to be the case. So once that's plugged in and it's ready to go, the body goes on, like I said, fairly easy without the fender flares. It's a little bit of a task with the fender flares. I know they do need to be trimmed, and they do have other models and other companies that make fender flares for this that might be a little bit better. I may try those out, we'll see, but I'm sure with some trimming it'll be perfect. So for me, this is one of the things I'll say later in the video that I don't necessarily like about the truck is how it mounts. Most of my bodies are either Velcro mounted or magnetic, and those are like hopping cars or cars that go, for speed, that have the pins. This one's a little bit different. It's not too bad. It's just getting the hold aligned, which is kind of a pain. Once you get like the first one in, it's not too bad. I know that they make metal mounts or metal arms to replace the mounts on the truck. So I may get that. I'm just kind of worried that they'll strip out over time, just because when I first put the second set of screws on here on the driver's side, I did notice that they were kind of getting chewed up on where the screw enters. So I'm a little concerned that it might strip out in the future. So we'll see how that goes, if I can get those CNC metal ones in soon. I believe the company RC4WD Drive, who makes the truck, has them in stock, and I want to say they're about $20, so it's not too bad as far as cost. So you can kind of see the struggle there getting that aligned. You kind of have to pinch down on it at first and push the body back just a little bit to get it in. And keep in mind, this video is on a fast forward, and still took me a little while to get it, but once it's on, you can see it's nice and secure and beautiful. You do have the switch in the back underneath the gas tank there. to turn it on. So once installed, everything looks great. The lights are on. There isn't a way to turn it off. I might have to figure that out. Maybe there is. I just don't know. The rear mirrors are great. They fold in and out. Very durable. The tailgate on this truck does open, which I do like. It's pretty cool. It's got a full bed in it. As I'm sure you all can agree, anytime you get a new truck or an RC car, you want to take it out right away. So let's go and take it out at the park. Hopefully none of these kids run it over with their bikes. See if we're lucky. So I picked up the K10 on sale at Main Hobbies. I hadn't really ordered from them in the past, but my experience was great. Came quickly. I did opt for a little bit faster shipping. I didn't realize at the time that they're in Chico and I live in Bakersfield. So had I just ordered it with regular shipping, I probably would have got it at the same time. So it was on sale for $484.89. Normally I believe it goes for about $570. So it was on sale. I ordered it thinking that I was going to be able to take advantage of their sales they have going on for the holiday season. However, it doesn't apply to certain RC cars, including this one. Also, RC four-wheel drive had a similar sale. Didn't apply to sale items, and it just so happens this was on sale. So I got a great deal from a Main. I would have loved to support the company directly since they are in Visalia, which is about a 45-minute drive for me. But we'll see how it goes in the future. I did order some other parts from them, so we'll be upgrading this truck in a little while. But if you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Red Cat, and most of the Red Cats that I own at the moment are converted into trucks. The 66 C10 that is made, I forget by the name of the company. I'll just put that here on the bottom, and I'll show the trucks off here in a little bit. But I do love RC trucks, and I've been eyeballing this one for a long time. Not so much out of the box wanting to run it as it is, more so to take the body and modify it and put it on one of my Red Cat lowers. But once I started doing some research on it and seeing it and taking a look just at its build and watching some reviews, I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger, and I'm not disappointed. So one thing that really caught my eye on this truck when I first got it was the detail, and it was no disappointment when I actually get the truck and take a look at it. I'll do a top view of the truck so you can kind of see the detail in the truck. You can see the detail in the bumper. Got the wheels all nice and shined up. Metal emblems. Of course, I showed this detail in the video already, but this is just kind of reiteration of what my favorite parts of the truck are. And again, my goal when I first got this truck was to just purchase a body and place it over one of my 64 Red Cat Impalas. And I had seen some folks do that, and it really intrigued me. But that'll be for another project. But this one is staying in the shape that it is and will function as something that we take on the trail, which I have some footage that I'll play here in a little bit, and something that I'll be hopefully doing some rock climbing with and having fun with the kids and doing some really cool videos. So the reason why I say it's quickly become my favorite is because I have another RC truck which I'll be doing an unboxing of, or at least an overview of. It is the FMS, and it's a great truck. I do love it. However, this one is a lot more realistic and to scale than that one is. And I do love that it is, and that it does have details in the sense of all of the brand names, the BF Goodrich tires, the bumpers, and some other parts that that I really impressed me when I got it. So that's the reason why this has become my favorite truck so far out of all the trucks that I own and all the trucks that I've modified. So modifications to this, I did have some plans on maybe modifying it with a different set of wheels. I was thinking about getting different rear bumper, different front bumper with a winch, and I probably will do that, just not to this particular truck. I am eyeing the midnight version of this truck, which is the Blazer. Similar in the build, but it is a Blazer. So I may get that one, but this one, as it is, will stay in this shape. Now, one thing I have to say about this is it is pretty heavy. When I took it out on the trail, you definitely could feel the weight when you're coming up and down those rocks. Being heavier in the front, it did help. I did tip it one time, which was obviously scary when you have a new truck and a new RC car. But I do plan on taking care of this one, so there won't be anything too crazy I'm doing with it. But I'm not a veteran of rock crawlers. Something that I'm new into that. I've always loved just fast RC cars, taking them on the road, playing with the kids, letting them jump on ramps up and down the sidewalk. But in the past years, I've become a fan of Red Cat and the lowrider scene, and that's where, like I said, got me kind of converted into the RC truck. So this one, like I said, I just can't get over the build quality. There are a couple things that I must say that I don't necessarily like, and that is how it mounts. I've seen some people put a battery box in the back in the form of a toolbox, so maybe we'll do that, but I'll go ahead and take it apart and I'll show you kind of what I mean as far as a takedown. So we'll go ahead and grab our tool here. First thing that I do is I take out the body pins. Now, there is a company called Shrink RC that makes a different mount for the back, which I'll probably be looking at ordering, and it also has a different way to unscrew these two Allen screws here. So I'll go ahead and unscrew those now so you guys can take a look at how that is done. Let me just adjust some lighting here. I don't tend to use handhelds on RC trucks just because I don't want to over tighten or strip anything since most of it's plastic. I may upgrade the body mounts on this truck. I know they make a CNC body mount for both sides that will probably aid in this mount not stripping. So that'll be on order hopefully soon, and we'll do an install of that. I did look at some wheels for this particular truck, and I will probably keep these just because I like the look of it, and like I said, I just like the truck and the way it looks overall. So they may stay. Maybe I'll just upgrade the tires. We'll see. But as you see, that's about how long it takes for me to take off the screws and the body pins. Now, as I was putting this together, I did install some pieces off camera just because it was becoming a little bit of a pain to do it on camera, and that was the fenders and the body pins. Now, I haven't exactly shaved down the body pins. I will have to do that here soon, but if I order that other set of from our Shrink RC, then I probably won't mess with those. But the part that I was stating that was a little more difficult was getting these fenders on. That's why it was done off camera. There is a set of screws you have to take off, which I believe are these two here, and then we have another up front. I did loosen this part right here so that I can have room to put this flare behind it. I know that a company, I believe CNC Hand, makes a different set of flares that look a bit stronger, a little more rigid. So I may consider that. I did clean my wheels after the trail, so I do have a little bit of water on the table here, but clean wheels for the video. So those screws there will come off, and then you'll be able to install these. Now, it is a little bit of a pain. I didn't trim these yet to get the body back on, but it goes on just fine. So I do have this currently running a LiPo. When I first started running it, and in the video, I did show it running just with the stock battery that it came with, which is the, I think, 3800, so, or maybe it was 3000. But I did change it to fit a LiPo, so we are running an 11.1 volt LiPo 3S on the truck, and it does make a world of difference. It seemed a little bit underpowered when I first drove it, but with that LiPo, it does have a little more speed, and seems to really respond when I get on the throttle. So I do like that. Now, I haven't changed the leaf springs on this yet, and I probably will do that in the future, just to kind of test them out. I did have a little bit of damage here from when I did take it in the rocks out in Arizona. I did take a little bit longer than normal to do this video, only because I knew I was going to be going to Arizona, and there's a park there that I like to walk the trail of, and I thought that that would be a perfect environment to take this, and it did not disappoint, as you saw in the video. I'll put some more clips of that at the end. But so far, my first impressions, obviously the build quality and the realism of the truck just really is impressive. And I hope that with the upgrades I put on, it continues to impress. I do events, so this truck will be coming with me to certain events. That'll be some off-road events, some car shows, and some other events that I'll be taking it with. I may add a trailer to it, and it may pull one of my other trucks, the C10s. I currently have a Ford or a Sen Racing F450 that hauls all of my Chevy trucks, which most of them are Chevys. And you know, you always get those comments like, "Oh, that's not realistic." A Ford pulling a Chevy. So I'd like it better if my Chevy truck was pulling a Chevy truck. So we'll get to that. RC four-wheel drive is currently out of the 1/8 scale trailer that I'd like to purchase. So once that comes in stock, we'll get that and we'll review that as well. But overall, the experience with this truck has been great. My daughter has asked if she could drive it, and I have not let off the reins to let her drive it, just because this particular body is painted from the outside, and it's a very nice paint. Like I mentioned in the unboxing, it's kind of got like a glitter in it. You can't really see it too well in the video, but it does kind of have like a little shimmer to it. I almost want to say like a flake inside of it. I'll have to see. I hope to hopefully in the future take a tour, if I can, of the factory. I believe it's in Visalia. I know they ship out of Visalia. Their contact's in Visalia, so we'll have to see if that's the case. And since I travel to Tulare and Fresno decently often, I'll have to see if maybe I can stop in and take a look. I'm not sure if that's possible, but if it is, we'll be sure to do it. When I did order this truck, one of the very first things that I did was order these bumper guards. And these bumper guards I installed shortly after I purchased it and after I did the initial drive at the park. So I don't have a video of it, but it was really easy. I basically just marked the holes that are on these, and it screws into these plastic pieces here. If I end up taking it off, I might do a video of it, but that really added to the look of the truck. And then of course you have the tailgate that comes down. Given it's not a Lexan body, or Lexan, however you say it, you do have a lot more capabilities as far as how it functions. And being a hard body, it does seem so much more sturdy. Doesn't really have any flex. It's a little more difficult to put on because it doesn't have that flex, but the realism of the truck is just, like I said, beautiful. So I can go on and on about how much I love the truck and how great it is, but I'll go ahead and put some more of those clips of it driving in Arizona, and I will be getting some upgrades for this. I think I'm going to be putting the work rack on it and kind of make it not necessarily like an overlander, but just put some cool features on it. Probably put a molly rig here in the back of the bed that they sell and that they make. So I'll probably do that with a jack stand. I think they have the patriotic red, white, and blue jack stand available, so I'm probably going to get that to put on here. And then I'll be putting the molly here on the sides, maybe put a shovel here, have a couple ice chests. My girls like to decorate the beds of my trucks, which I'll show in a different video, so we might see what they would like to put in here and kind of represent as we go to events and enter different car shows. So it should be a fun project. Should be fun seeing what this turns into. I do thank everybody who watches and supports our channel. If you guys enjoy this, please go ahead and subscribe and leave any comments. If you guys have a K10 or if you're in the market for one and you're thinking about getting one, I do highly recommend it. And we'll see you guys next time.